If you're new to sewing machine collecting, especially collecting vintage and antique Singer sewing machines, it can be a little bit overwhelming to try and figure out what model you're actually looking at. Those of us who've been collecting sewing machines for a number of years can make it seem so easy, and you guys are left out there thinking, how do they do it? What's the tell? Are we using some kind of magic? We seem to instinctively know the difference between a Singer 27 and a Singer 128, and yet they look pretty much identical. We can tell without batting an eye a 66 from a Singer 15. I'm Ollie, this is SimplyStitchy, and in today's video I'm going to show you the magic behind those tells. Come on. If we start with the Singer 27, this is a member of the vibrating shuttle family of sewing machine, and the thing that sets these apart from other Singer sewing machine models is here. The vibrating shuttle family of machines have these twin throat plates or needle plates. Now I do have another video on my channel where I go into detail about what the differences are between the different models within the vibrating shuttle family of machines. But for this video, the main difference between the Singer 27 and this Singer 128 is that's a full-size machine and this one is a 3/4 size machine, which means it's shorter in the throat space area and it's fatter in the arm. The 27's quite sleek, slender in comparison. When it comes to this machine, any collector will be able to tell you, even if they are standing on the other side of the room, that this is a 66. And the reason we can do that is because we're cheating. We're not really looking at the machine, we're looking at the decals. These are what's known as Redeye Decals, and they were only ever put on Singer 66s. So if you see a machine that's got this style of decals, you know instantly it's going to be a Singer 66. Having said that, although all Singers with Redeye decals are 66s, not all Singer 66s have Redeye decals. This machine is also a Singer 66, but as you can see the decals are a lot different. Now the other way that you can identify 66s if you haven't got the luxury of the Redeye decals is by looking at, first of all, the location of the bobbin. On the 66 the bobbin is on the top of the machine. It's a top loader or a drop-in bobbin system, and it's also got a stitch length and on some reverse lever here on the pillar, and in some of the older ones you've got a stitch knob right there, and those are both indicators that these are both class 66 or Singer 66 sewing machines. This machine here has the same decals as the Singer 66, but this one isn't a Singer 66. Although it's got the stitch adjuster on the pillar in the same way that that one's got, and it's got the top loading bobbin, this one is the Singer 99. And you can tell the difference between this one and the 66 because the 99 is a 3/4 size machine, whereas the 66 is full size. So again, as with the vibrating shuttle family, the distance on a full size machine is a lot larger than the distance between the pillar and the needle on the 3/4 machines. You're looking, it's about 6 inches on that. And I'm using a small ruler here just to make it a bit more obvious. You've got probably about 1.5 inch difference on the full-size machine. There is another model of sewing machine that gets confused for the Singer 66, and that's the Singer 201, and there's a very good reason why they get confused, because the 201 is actually an updated version of the 66. They have the same top loading bobbin system, and to all intents and purposes they are near identical. Now some people will tell you that the 201 has the light fitted to the front, but that's not necessarily true, because some 201s have the light on the back. The way I tell a 201 from a 66 is I'll focus on this stitch length adjuster here. On the 66 it tends to be either a linear style like on this one, or it'll be a knob like it is on this Singer 99. I don't actually have a 201, but if I show you the difference on this Singer 15 for a moment, the stitch length adjuster, you see that, has actually got this moulded circle going around it, and that's how the stitch adjuster is likely to look on a 201. This machine here is also part of the Class 66 family. It is itself a newer version of the Singer 99, but this one is the Singer 185. Now when I first got this machine I thought, by looking at it, it was the Singer 185J, and the reason why I thought that was because it's two-tone green. But the great thing about slightly more modern vintage Singer sewing machines is Singer obviously realised that at some point in the future we'd need to know what the model was, so they started putting it on the front of the machine, either on top of the stitch length adjustment, or it'll be just below it. And it actually says 185K, which means this particular Singer 185 was built in Kilbarry. This is a Singer 15. It's the Singer 1591 to be precise, and the reason I know just by looking at it that this is a Singer 15 is the best tell of them all. The Singer 15 has the tension discs on the faceplate instead of, as the other machines we've looked at today, instead of being here. And the reason why I know this is a 1591 is because of the style of the motor on the back. It's a potted motor. If this was the Singer 90, that would be a bolt-on motor a little bit further down here. There is a video on the channel at the moment that shows you the difference between this 1591 and the other Singer 15 I've got, the Singer 15 K80. I'll put a link to that in the description box below so you can go and have a closer look at those differences. Even the slightly more modern vintage Singer sewing machines have identifying features that you will become more aware of the more you collect vintage sewing machines. This is a touch and sew, and I know that for a number of reasons. The bobbin area is at the front of the machine. It's a top loader. It's also got, if I tip the machine up a little bit, oops, you see that little white button just there? All the touch and sew range have got that little button because the touch and sew is a wind in place bobbin system. Another telltale indicator is, you remember I said on the two-tone green machine a minute ago, Singer started putting the name and the model number on the pillar. Well, they've done exactly the same on this one here, right down at the very bottom. It says touch and sew, and it also gives you the model number. The model number's right there, it says 640. If we take a slightly closer look at the information that Singer puts on the base of the pillar for us, you see this little circle there right after the touch and sew name. It looks like a little target, and you'll only find that little target on the touch and sew range. and it matches the little target on the little button in the bobbin area. This is another one of Singer's top-loading sewing machines, only this one isn't a Singer touch and sew, and we can tell that by looking in the bobbin area. It has a normal standard class 66 bobbin system. There isn't that little white button right there, which means this is not a touch and sew. It is in fact, if we take a look at the name on the base of the pillar, a Singer Stylist. I hope you liked today's video, and I hope the hints and tips that I've shared will help you identify the Singer sewing machine that you're looking at. If you did like the video, give it a thumbs up, and why not subscribe and click that little bell just down there so that YouTube can let you know when I've uploaded another video. And why not check out some of the other videos that I've got on the channel using the links coming up on the screen any minute now, or the ones I'll pop in the description box below for you. You can also help support this channel and make it possible for me to make more videos like this by donating through the Super Thanks button, which is also just above the description box. Whatever video you go and check out next, I hope to see you back here for the next one. And in the meantime, whatever you're sewing it with, embrace your creativity and have fun. Thank you ever so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.